For more than 20 years, one financial story has continued to spread across the internet. It appears in Facebook groups, YouTube videos, online forums, and private chat groups. Every few months, the same prediction returns. The claim is simple: buy Iraqi dinars while they're cheap. Wait for a massive revaluation. And someday, you could wake up a millionaire. For many people, this sounds like the investment opportunity of a lifetime. Millions of dollars have been spent buying Iraqi currency based on this belief. Supporters say Iraq's enormous oil reserves guarantee that its currency will eventually soar in value. Others claim that governments, central banks, and even international organizations are secretly preparing a dramatic currency reset. But how much of this story is supported by real evidence? And how much is built on rumors that have circulated for more than 2 decades? In this documentary, we'll separate facts from speculation. We'll examine Iraq's economy using publicly available information from institutions such as the IMF, the World Bank, the Central Bank of Iraq, and other credible financial sources. We'll also explore how the revaluation theory became so popular, why it continues to attract attention, and what official economic data actually tells us in 2026. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of where the evidence ends, where speculation begins, and why this topic remains one of the internet's longest-running financial debates. Let's begin. White heavy checkmark improvements made. Stronger opening hook. More natural documentary narration. Avoids exaggerated wording. More policy-safe language. Better audience retention. More authoritative tone without making unsupported claims. अगले हिस्से पार्ट 2 में चैप्टर 2 बैकग्राउंड ऑफ द क्लेम को भी मुकम्मल तौर पर नए अंदाज में लिखांगा, इसे पहले से ज्यादा दिलचस्प और प्रोफेशनल बनाते हुए. 2. Part 2. Background of the claim rewritten. Estimated length, 2 minutes. To understand why the Iraqi dinar revaluation story still attracts attention today, we need to go back more than 2 decades. In 2003, Iraq experienced one of the most significant political and economic transitions in its modern history. Years of conflict, international sanctions, and major changes in government left the country's economy under immense pressure. During this period, Iraq introduced a new version of the Iraqi dinar, while the central bank worked to stabilize the country's monetary system. As the economy adjusted, the dinar traded at a much lower value against the US dollar than many people expected. Around the same time, a theory began spreading online. The argument sounded convincing at first glance. Supporters claimed that Iraq possessed some of the world's largest oil reserves. As the country rebuilt its infrastructure and economy, they believed the Iraqi dinar would eventually undergo a dramatic revaluation, causing its value to rise sharply against major currencies. This idea became widely known as the RV, short for revaluation. Soon, websites and currency dealers started selling Iraqi dinar banknotes to individual investors around the world, particularly in the United States. The currency was often promoted as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, an inexpensive investment that could supposedly deliver extraordinary returns in the future. Over time, what started as an online theory evolved into an entire industry. Discussion forums appeared across the internet. YouTube channels began providing regular RV updates. Paid newsletters, subscription groups, and self-proclaimed financial insiders claimed they had access to confidential information from governments, banks, or international organizations. For many buyers, these constant updates created the impression that a major announcement was always just around the corner. The business surrounding the Iraqi dinar also became financially significant. According to publicly available U.S. court records, one of the largest currency dealers generated hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue by selling Iraqi dinar to retail customers over several years. Whether or not the predicted revaluation ever occurred, the sale of the currency itself remained a profitable business. That raises an important question. If millions of people have believed this story for years, what does Iraq's real economy actually tell us? To answer that, we first need to understand how Iraq's economy and its currency actually works. White heavy checkmark improvements in this version. Better storytelling and smoother flow. Neutral, documentary-style language. Avoids presenting claims as facts without context. Stronger transitions between ideas. More YouTube and legal policy friendly. More engaging for audience retention. Partin में हम how Iraq's economy actually works को इसी professional अंदाज में दोबारा लिखेंगे. Part 8. What does the evidence suggest instead? Better alternatives. Estimated length, 2 minutes. After exploring the claims, the evidence, and the real-world consequences, one important question remains. If speculative currency theories aren't a reliable path to building wealth, what do financial experts generally recommend instead? The answer isn't as exciting as the promise of overnight riches, but it is supported by decades of research. One of the most consistent recommendations from economists and financial professionals is diversification. Rather than placing all of your money into a single speculative asset, diversification means spreading investments across different asset classes. This approach helps reduce risk because the performance of one investment doesn't determine the outcome of your entire portfolio. Another important principle is verification. Before committing money to any investment, ask a simple question. Can the claims be independently verified? Reliable investment opportunities are typically supported by transparent information, regulatory oversight, and publicly available financial data, not anonymous insiders or promises of secret knowledge. It's also important to recognize the difference between speculation and investing. Speculation usually depends on predicting short-term events that may or may not happen. Investing, on the other hand, focuses on long-term growth based on measurable fundamentals such as business performance, economic conditions, or diversified financial assets. History has shown that sustainable wealth is usually built through consistency, discipline, and patience, not through a single event promising extraordinary returns. For anyone considering a significant financial decision, seeking advice from a qualified, licensed financial professional can also be valuable. A trusted advisor can help evaluate opportunities based on your personal goals, financial situation, and risk tolerance. None of these ideas promise instant wealth. In fact, they're often much less exciting than the stories shared on social media. But that's exactly the point. Real financial planning is rarely built on excitement. It's built on evidence. And while evidence may not always produce dramatic headlines, it provides something far more valuable. A stronger foundation for making informed financial decisions. In our final chapter, we'll bring everything together and answer the question that started this investigation. What should we really conclude about the Iraqi Dinar revaluation story after more than 2 decades? Wide heavy checkmark improvements made. More educational and balanced. Avoids giving personal financial advice. Fully YouTube and monetization friendly. Neutral tone with no investment recommendations. Strong transition into the final conclusion. More engaging and professional documentary style. 9. Part 9. Conclusion call to action rewritten. Estimated length, 2 minutes. So, after more than 2 decades of speculation, where does the evidence actually leave us? The answer is more straightforward than many online discussions suggest. Iraq is a country with significant natural resources and long-term economic potential. Over the years, it has taken steps to strengthen its banking system, modernize financial institutions, and reduce its dependence on oil. These developments are real, but they're also gradual. Economic transformation doesn't happen overnight, and neither do major changes in a country's currency. Real-world monetary policy is shaped by complex economic conditions, long-term planning, and decisions that are communicated through official institutions, not anonymous online posts or unverified insider claims. Throughout this documentary, we've compared popular claims with publicly available information from government agencies, international financial institutions, court records, and economic research. While speculation about a dramatic Iraqi dinar revaluation continues to circulate online, there is currently no publicly verified evidence supporting the kind of sudden, life-changing currency event that many promoters have predicted over the years. That doesn't mean Iraq has no economic future. It simply means that extraordinary financial claims should always be judged by the quality of the evidence behind them, not by how often they're repeated. Perhaps the biggest lesson isn't about one currency. It's about how we evaluate information in the digital age. When an investment opportunity promises exceptional returns, relies on secret information, or creates pressure to act before it's too late, that's the moment to slow down, not speed up. Ask questions. Check official sources. Look for independent verification. And remember that informed decisions are almost always better than emotional ones. If this documentary helped you better understand the Iraqi dinar story, consider sharing it with someone who may have heard these claims before. And if you'd like to see more evidence-based documentaries exploring finance, economics, and global events, subscribe to the channel and let us know in the comments what topic you'd like us to investigate next. Thank you for watching. This video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. It should not be considered financial, legal, or investment advice. Always conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before making financial decisions.